Those who get SNAP should be drug tested and prevented from buying lottery tickets. Are you for small government or big government? You need to make up your mind. Choose a lane. You do realize that the SNAP money they can't use for things like drugs and lottery tickets, right? They can't use SNAP for cigarettes, they can't use it for alcohol, they can't even use it for prepared hot meals. You know those cheap rotisserie chickens they sell at the front of a lot of grocery stores? They can't even buy that with their SNAP cards. And when I hear people say that they think that they should get drug tested if they're going to get SNAP benefits, is that they think that people who are on drugs deserve to starve, or their kids deserve to starve. Almost all drug addicts do not want to be drug addicts. A lot of times it's just a problem that got out of control. And most of the time it started with prescription medication that was prescribed to them. But let's go ahead and talk this through, since you seem to think that it's a good solution to this problem. Many states have tried this before and it turned out to be a huge flop. They did not get the results that they were expecting to get. A lot of times they had low positive rates. People who are drug addicted typically do not have their lives together enough that they can apply for SNAP benefits. The state that had the highest percentage of positives was Florida, go figure, and that was only 3.8%. So you're doing all this drug testing on all these people to get a positive result of 3.8%. Is that worth it? I don't think so, because it turns out that it is not cheap to test all these people. The cost of the testing was way more expensive than it would be to just give these people food stamps. Let's just be honest here. You don't care about any of this shit. You just think that the poor should just go ahead and die off so that they aren't a drain on society, right? But here's the thing. You or somebody that you care about could fall onto hard times and need these social safety nets at some point in your lives. But what if they weren't there anymore for you? What if you didn't have these social safety nets because people like you kept voting against them and saying, you know what, screw the poor, just let them die off? But every time I have somebody in my comments that asks something like this, I always want to ask them, why are you so upset with the poor people that you're having to pay $36 a year for in your taxes to take care of them so that they can just eat? But you're not upset with the rich people who are getting tax breaks that are costing you about $1,800 a year in taxes. Why aren't you bothered by the fact that your tax dollars are going to fund members of Congress who hardly ever work? Why aren't you asking for them to get drug tested? Because they can actually afford the drugs. But we all know the answers to these questions. It's because you think that the rich people deserve to have money and poor people just absolutely do not. You've been conditioned to think that rich people are rich because they're winners and poor people are poor because they're losers. And why do we want to give money to losers? It turns out that rich people just have way better PR than poor people do. And as long as they can have people like you blaming the poor people for all your problems, then you're not focused on the people who are actually robbing you blind. But at least the rich give you something to live vicariously through, right?